sense. But it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen!
Oh!
Welcome back! It's Primetime. It's the Primetime podcast. 75 episodes in, 75 episodes strong. We are here on a Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday after Memorial Day. It is 7:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 26th of May of 2026. And just now, just yesterday, one of the biggest headlines of the century, the New York Knicks, for the first time since 1999, have made the NBA Finals after a 4-0 sweep of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, and OG Anunoby, among others, have lifted the New York Knicks to the NBA Finals. We're going to be here to talking about all that. We're going to be here talking about what happened to Cleveland, what happened to James Harden's legacy, and then, of course, tonight, we get one step closer to determining their opponents. Will it be the San Antonio Spurs, led by Victor Wembanyama, or will it be the Oklahoma City Thunder, led by Benjamin Netanyahu? There's only one way to find out, and it's to watch tonight. But before all of that, Taff, I am joined, of course, by my wonderful co-host here, Mr. Taff Smith himself. Taff, how are you? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling fantastic, man. It is a big day in the basketball world, a big 24 hours, you could say. Yesterday, the Knicks completed the 4-0 sweep against the Cavs, despite their winning analytically 2 of the first 3. I'm feeling great. Are we starting with the Knicks game?
Have to.
And everything that came with that?
Start with the fact that the Knicks are in the finals. I mean, yeah, talk about it. Well, hold on. Technically, analytically, the series is tied up 2-2. That's my understanding. So maybe the series isn't actually over, according to Kenny Atkinson. And that was dumb.
That's true,
that
was so stupid.
Actually, analytically, we won 2 of the 3 games. What are you talking about?
Analytically, you're down 4-0.
You're down 3-0 making that statement. Actually, if you look at plus minus and all the different little, we technically won. Shut up.
Kenny Atkinson writes Adam Silver, I think it's ridiculous that you made us lose.
Adam, the Knicks are making me lose again.
Jay Bradbury in the chat says, I put up more points than the Cavs playing against dudes half my age. Give me Harden.
Excellent. Well, appreciate
Couple things.
Yep.
For one, Kenny Atkinson is coming back as the head coach.
Saw that.
Ridiculous. I also saw that Donovan Mitchell, I guess, we can definitely compliment Harden. Donovan Mitchell said about James Harden that he, on a broad level, career-long wise, definitely transformed the game of basketball. Michael Jordan was mentioned. Obviously, James Harden is not in the same class as Michael Jordan. But yeah, the way people dribble, James Harden started the tween, hezzy, tween, look up at the rim, then drive past you. He sort of pioneered that, and that's become the baseline for the way people play. But James Harden was dookie in this series, and
I think the criticism of Harden has never been he hasn't changed the game. The criticism of Harden is that he sinks in these big moments. I was watching, I'm doom scrolling. I'm doom scroll maxing, right? And I see, of course, how is James Harden going to be remembered? And the argument is, well, James Harden's going to be remembered as someone that changed the game. And I'm going to sit here and be like, you can't remove the image of James Harden coming up short in the playoffs year after year, and they'll cite he went up against the KD Warriors and the 61-win Spurs. There's a whole other arc of James Harden being on the Nets, or being on the 76ers, or being in LA, or being in Cleveland, and just underperforming to expectations. Whether he's the star, whether he's the second best, the third best player, it didn't matter. No matter what the expectations were, no matter how much they changed, he still did not step up in those moments where that was the whole point of bringing him in. So it's like, are we all of a sudden lowering the standards of expectations for Harden? Why? He's an MVP level player. He's a multiple-time All-Star, multiple-time All-NBA. It's not like you can't sit here and have these all of a sudden lower standards because, oh, well, he's just not a playoff winner, but he's still really good. Like, you need to win. That's the whole thing. That's the whole point, especially on an NBA level. Especially on an NBA level where you make up so much more of the team.
Yeah, James Harden and KD are the strippers of the NBA. You pay so much money, and then you don't even get what you wanted in the first place.
Oh my gosh. Like, it's like you only get a little bit of like side boob, and then nothing actually, you get nothing
exactly.
out of it.
And,
who's that?
James Harden really, like, I feel like, the prospect of James Harden, it's also true about strip clubs. The prospect of the strip club is so much more entertaining than the reality of it. James Harden, before this series started, and I even believed it before the series started. And then when that 22-point comeback happened, it just never was the same. When James Harden shot, I did not expect it to go in. I never really feared, oh my God, yep, that's the guy. It's gonna go in, like I did with Jason Tatum a year ago. I remember that vividly. I was horrified of Jason Tatum when we were playing him. And yeah, I mean, James Harden is an interesting figure because I now am not. It's like Max Kellerman said. He said, trading for James Harden to win a championship is like electing Donald Trump to fix your country. I no longer fear the beard.
There's been no fear for the beard for, I think, honestly, I'm going to say since COVID, I don't think anybody's really feared the beard, which is kind of insane to say. But, I mean, I just don't, people want to act like, all that, like, you know what he is? To me, he's Cam Newton. He's Cam Newton because Cam Newton had his MVP. What you could say the same argument like Cam Newton. Cam Newton changed the game. Cam Newton changed the game for the way the defenders play. But because of an MVP, because of what, in my opinion, what was a standout year in comparison to the rest of his career, he is viewed as in a different light because of that MVP. If he doesn't win that MVP, we're not talking about James Harden in the same light. We're not talking about him in that intensity of a rarefied air. Same with Cam. You can't take it away from them, but the reality is it's the best that they ever were. That I think this, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I definitely feel that way about Cam a little bit, but I don't know how to feel fully about Harden in that sense because I know he still had other great years. The issue is that year people think that's who he is overall as a player for his legacy. When that was him like in his absolute prime of primes, where it's like none of his other seasons were necessarily to that level of dominance, and even then, that same Harden came up short. I mean, you can even argue going into I think it was the Western Conference Finals when they matched up with the Warriors and went to 7, and they missed, what was it, like 20-something threes in a row. You could argue for the majority of that series he outplayed Steph, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter because you didn't outplay them when it mattered. And I think Clay was missing for one of those games too. So you had your shot. Your shots were there. James Harden never rose to that occasion, and that's why I'm going to be honest. I think people had him in top 40 discussions. I'm dropping him. I think he's pushing to try to make top 50 all time.
People were saying this guy's better than Dwayne Wade.
No, he's not better than Dwayne Wade.
He's not a better defender than Dwayne Wade. Clearly, I wish that this was true. I wish that it wasn't true, rather, but he doesn't do what it takes to win. No. He seems, very me. Actually, I don't know. I don't know the guy, but come on, do better in the playoffs, James Harden.
I mean, you talk about, the thing is, when he even said, like, oh, I want to come back and he basically said, I want to do whatever it takes to stay in Cleveland. I want to win. Like, he wants to win in Cleveland. And I got to tell you right now, you sure don't like the whole mentality of the Cavs just doesn't feel like they want to win. Like game 3, we all saw it. We all saw Jalen Brunson basically jog, like he not just jog the long way around Jared Allen, and it looks like Allen has cement. Like he's just standing in wet cement and can't move. And it's like, are you like paralyzed out of what, fear? Or like, what's going on? Did you get leg cramps? I don't understand.
We watched that game together, and as somebody who, of course, was very happy to see the Knicks going up 3-0, getting to the finals, which we've never seen before in our lifetimes. I mean, great on that front. That play made me a little mad. And it also kind of ties back to, how the hell is Kenny Atkinson returning for a year? Because if I'm Kenny Atkinson, I am dumbfounded. This is a professional basketball team. Were they even down double digits? I don't know if they were.
They were down. Oh my gosh, they had to have been.
It was probably like 12.
Well, they were down. They were down dramatically. At that point, it was down double digits. At that point, where he was not moving. But at that, like that's not the point. Like you were
There's
down.
2.5 minutes left.
Especially if you know in like a. In any case, you're at home. Like you are in your building, you are barely moving, you are lethargic in your level of play, and that's got to be on Kenny Atkinson and the coaching. The other thing that I've found though that's very interesting to note in premise, and I've seen a lot of people mention this too. Like I've seen some takes where it's like Cavs shouldn't blow it all up. There were other teams that came to the conference finals like 2 years ago. It was the Pacers who got swept by Boston, and then they made it back and they were able to get to the finals. Then the Knicks last year, they lost in the finals. And then I think a few years ago, Boston had lost to Miami when they were down 3-0 to that 8 seed and then came back to make it Game 7 only to lose the last game. And all those teams ended up, give it another year, gave it another shot, either made the right moves or persisted with what they had and got back to the finals. Here's why that's not going to work for the Cleveland Cavaliers, is because out of all of, like, the difference is, and we've already talked about what the difference is the mentality. The difference in watching, like, even Indiana losing in 4 to Boston, like, they weren't getting blown out in the majority of those games. Like, I remember game 2 specifically was like it was like either game 2 or game 3 was a very close game and came down to like, I think it was Jaylen Brown making like one last shot, or Tatum, I'm not sure which one. But I remember that game coming down to like the last shot. And I'm like, you can't, that doesn't equate to the Cleveland Cavaliers dominating for 3 quarters in game 1, getting ass blasted in the final 7 minutes of the first game, to then get mollywopped the rest of the series. Like, it doesn't have the same comparison. It doesn't hold up to the other teams from previous. It just doesn't. So to me, that's a sign of either you need to make a significant move, or you need, like, maybe it's moving off Kenny Atkinson. Maybe they try to go get Giannis or something. Maybe they make some other move. But the reality is, if this Cleveland team stays the way it is, it's gonna get worse, because they were a 1 seed last year. They fallen from the 1 to the 4. Is James Harden going to be better at 37 than he is at 36? I doubt it. Not a chance. And you're going to bring him back to do what? To be more high usage at an older age? Get out of here.
Yeah. I'm going to, 2 things. That Darius Garland trade killed the Cavs. If we run it back right now, and, we erase the fatigue that the Cavs got from this 4-game series that we just had, and they were playing with Darius Garland instead of James Harden, I am way more scared. Historically, in our lives, trades, when you move your young guy for an old classic talent, think about like Nets KG, Nets Paul Pierce, even though that might be a little more dramatic. It never works out for the team that gets the old guys. You gotta keep the youngins. And additionally,
I have a feeling that's worked out at least. Well, hold on. Let's pause.
When the Celtics traded for Ray Allen,
it worked out for the Lakers when they went and got an AD.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say LeBron.
No, like when they got Anthony Davis, that like they don't win and also
was AD like. How old was he?
He wasn't like young per se. Like, well, remember also at the time Anthony Davis was brittle broken bones, right? So like that was another. I mean, he still kind of is. He hasn't grown out of that, but he wasn't like.
Yeah.
I don't remember him being like. I guess he wasn't as grizzled as old, but still, like when you can make a reasonable move for like that kind of event, it definitely hasn't. Well, it hasn't paid dividends yet for the Mavs, but that's really because they land Cooper Flag and it's going to work out anyway, whether they intended to or not. I'll say this though, I don't think Darius Garland is able to make the same change. You know what I mean? Like I don't think Darius Garland. If they had Darius Garland, they wouldn't have been, in my opinion, they wouldn't have been in the conference finals. I don't think they would have made it by the Raptors or the Pistons.
I think Garland and Mitchell had way more chemistry than Harden and Mitchell. Harden and Mitchell were pretty redundant in the backcourt.
What I had seen from Garland,
a true distributor.
What I had seen from Garland, Boomer,
Henry.
Boomer, what is it? Just out, buddy.
Phil's dog's name is Henry, not Boomer.
It's not Henry.
Boomer hates his name.
Liar. Oh, Boomer, come on, buddy. Come here. Come here, big boy.
But yeah, with the Cleveland Cavaliers and trading for old people in general, I mean, I'm going to sound like a broken record when I say this. The Cavs got to blow it up, just like the Suns.
Stop saying the Suns need to blow it up. That is not the same thing as this Cleveland team. It's not even close.
Maybe that can be a bonus topic. Yeah, it's definitely not the same thing. Y'all only got 45 wins. The Cavs, Donovan Mitchell, it's clear he needs a sidekick. You're not going to get... What can you even get for James Harden? I don't know.
You're not going to...
Is Isaac Okoro still on the Cavs roster? Whatever happened to him?
I don't think so. I do not... I can't recall off the top of my head. But I would... If Cleveland's going to go into next season, they either need to move Kenny Atkinson and then, like, probably get... They may have to move Mobley.
Mobley, I think. No,
they may have to.
Really?
Mobley,
how old is Mitchell?
Donovan Mitchell's 29 right now. He's 29 years old. So like you're about and next year's a contract year. Next year's a contract year for D Mitch. And he's adamant that he wants to stay in Cleveland. He wants to stay in Cleveland, right? But I mean, what are your other real options? I mean, you've got a couple guys, like, you got some white boys that can shoot like Sam Merrill and Dean Wade. You have Max Strus, who is kind of like, I think they're Caruso, but to just a lesser degree.
I think Strus is expendable.
Sure. Well, I mean, but by the same logic, so is Caruso.
Now, Caruso does what Max Strus, sure, he can come off the bench, play defense. He wasn't able to do his job in this series. And
no.
I think
to be fair, no one was able to. Like, no one really did their job this season. Like, to put it all on, like, as much as I clown on Harden, the rest of this team also sucked.
Yeah. I mean, like, Donovan Mitchell showed up.
He showed up mostly in spurts. Like, he especially showed up, like, in, like, game one up until, like, he stopped getting the ball. But, like, even like in other, like, he was clearly frustrated. Like, he was trying to get his teammates rallied in game 4 by, like, any way he could. But the reality was there was never going to be how do I put this? There was never going to be, he never really showed up and, like, ever really felt like he took the game over on his own. Like, I remember in Toronto, he did, like, when they played Toronto, they had, like, they went from, like, tied at 50 to like 75-50 in a quarter, and like Mitchell has completely taken the game over. We didn't get that this series, and I think as someone who now is, I mean, I think him and Brunson are similar in age. I think they're around the same age. You've got, especially when you also see like Tyrese Halliburton and Jason Tatum doing these things. It's like you kind of have to. You're called the Spida. Like, you have a nickname. You better start like earning it to a degree, because if not, like, that just tells me, okay, maybe you aren't a good enough player to be on the best player on a championship team.
Yo, shout out to you, just a regular Rigby, for noticing. This is ball knowledge right here.
It's Kevin Knox.
Kevin Knox. He was supposed to be the chosen one.
Oh my gosh.
He walked so RJ Barrett could walk a little faster, and then OG Anunoby could run.
All right, hold on. You mind reading through these comments? I gotta get this guy out of the leash.
Yeah, let's see this. Brainy from Hey Arnold says, "Yo, twin, what's good? What's good, twin?" Jay Bradbury, what's up, Jay? Says you got 2K26 now. Put all the old heads on one team and run a sim. See if the Unks can take over the league. That would be fun. I have 2K26 on my computer. We could run that. And we could also, who do you think would be on the Unk roster? Obviously you got to put LeBron on there. You got to put Steph on there. You got to put Draymond on there. I think it would make sense for the base to be the Warriors. And that's throwing an extra challenge in there with them in the Western Conference. Who are the biggest Unks in the league? I'm trying to think. Is Taj Gibson still playing? Who's the oldest center in Let's see who the oldest center in basketball is. Oldest center in the NBA. Let's see here. Oh, Al Horford of the Golden State Warriors. Yeah, the unction is definitely happening in Golden State. Adam Silver, if Kenny emails me, he immediately goes into the spam folder. Yeah, you see, that's the vibe I get from Kenny Atkinson. That's what the Cavs, like, I'm sorry. I mean, Kenny Atkinson is probably, he's an NBA basketball coach. He's probably got a great mind for the game. But the fact that you are in the Eastern Conference Finals, facing being down 3-0, it is 2-0. Leads, like, this is still salvageable. It's not over. You're at home, and you disappoint the home crowd by, for one, your roster somehow simultaneously just gives up on the game on one possession. And then Kenny Atkinson has nothing to say about it. He doesn't seem to really care. Kenny Atkinson's thing is, I think he's like a player's coach, chill guy. But no, he was just like, I think you gotta, remember where you are, man. Get fired up.
Yeah, let me start at the top because I forgot to scroll up at the top. Jay Bradbury saying analytics killed sports. I think analytics put us into put like a subcategory of fans into like these super nerds. Like, being a nerd is one thing, but being a super nerd is way different. If you're a super nerd, you kind of piss me off. Like, to the point where it's like your do and die is analytics. Like, it's separate. Yeah. It's a weird cult subcategory of fans that exists purely based off my EPA RAI WYD LOL stat tells me that this player is just better all time, clearly. Shut up, man.
Yeah, it's like what Josh Hart said, man. Analytics are like lamppost to a drunk person. You can lean on them, but they won't get you home.
You can lean on them, but I forgot he said, dang. As I watched this Knicks team, I'm like, dang, they annoy me, but they're kind of funny.
They are awesome, man.
They are kind of funny. I'll give them that.
And that's what's so ridiculous. My last Kenny Atkinson comment, but dude,
you hate the guy.
It's not like they just barely lost 3 games. They got smoked in each and every one. Yeah, sure. The first game went to overtime. We beat them by double digits every time. It's like we woke up. The rust finally collectively came off with 7 minutes left in the fourth. So dude, what do you mean analytically? Analytically, when I look up the score of the series, you're down 3-0. When I analyze the scoreboard,
there's one stat that you're forgetting there, and it's the most important one.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Adam Silver's saying, I'll always remember James Harden coming into my office for a meeting with a half-eaten shrimp in his beard. I feel like that is a surprising James Harden thing. Not that I can think of a specific picture, but I can imagine that beard gets crumbs.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got
For
like
sure.
a little birdie in his nest. Jason, you want to love Harden because he has a few years balling out, but he been good to okay like a Trae Young.
Damn.
Is that? Yeah. I mean, true, but I mean, to Trae Young, is that who's that more disrespectful to? I feel like that's disrespectful to James Harden. I don't think
That's
Trae's
definitely
that guy.
disrespectful to James Harden, but it's not really that inaccurate. Like James Harden today versus Trae Young today in like a one-on-one basketball game, they're about at the same level. Of course, legacy-wise, James Harden's doing a lot. But yeah, Trae Young, and they've both regressed a little bit, and now they're at the same kind of mid-level.
Oh, weird. No, not even take. But if, let's say, the Wizards, who have the number 1 pick, draft AJ DeBansta, and he is like, let's say, I won't say like Wemby because that seems that seems unfair to be like that good. Let's say he's on the same level as like Jason Tatum, with Trae Young and Anthony Davis, and maybe a couple other with their young guys. Wizards could actually I think be on like a Pistons level curve, where they're at least could be a 1 seed down the line.
They could, but that's dependent on how Trae Young plays. I think Trae Young is kind of a mystery right now. Like he could very well return to his peak form that he was at in his early 20s. Or he could get the Washington curse and remain
Washington
mid.
Curse. Look, man, it's looking up finally for the Wizards. There's gonna be some level of turnaround with them. I have to imagine, right?
And
you gotta have hope.
Oh, you got going.
Yeah, I was done.
Okay, great. I want to say one more thing about James Harden. I think really what you do in the position of James Harden is you can either keep going around the league masquerading as an amazing scorer, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, James Harden has been an amazing scorer. Those days are behind him. You need to make the decision to either do that, keep doing what you're doing, not really go to the promised land and be a first or second option on a team, or you can do what Derrick Rose did without the injury and sort of remodel your play style to be palatable for teams into your late 30s. But he's old, man. He's 36.
I think there's still a version of Harden where he can be like a distributor. I think that's definitely a version of him that we've seen exist and definitely can exist. It's just like, is anybody gonna? And here's the thing: the problem is he can't be like a distributor that plays north of 25 minutes. That's the issue.
Yeah.
He's not gonna run back and chase people down on defense. He's just there were multiple times where I was watching him and he's the closest defender on one of the Knicks going in for a basket, and I'm like, he's not jumping for that. There's there's no way he's jumping for that. And it would happen over and over again. It's you need to have, I don't know. I feel like that's the kind of energy that a lot of teams who have, especially Indiana. Indiana had that energy where they would if they might make a turnover every once in a while, sure, but they would actually go back and try to get the chase down block and actually put pressure on teams to stop them from scoring off the fast break. Cleveland didn't have that all series.
Yeah, nah.
It was
also while you were controlling Boomer, aka Henry, earlier, we were talking about the unction. Because Jay was saying, you got 2K26, now put all the old heads on one team and run a sim and see if the Unks can take over the league. James Harden is definitely on the Unction roster.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Chris Paul retired.
Well,
we can come up with the Unction
Steph
roster. Oh, yeah, Steph
Curry would be an
LeBron,
Unction.
Draymond, Al Horford.
Drummond.
And James Harden. That's your starting five. Drummond coming off the bench.
Drummond in there. Get shoot. Gotta be
Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry still playing?
I know he's at the end of the Sixers bench. I don't know if he's retiring.
He's just chilling there. I don't think Embiid's not young. No, I don't think Embiid's young enough.
He's not unk enough yet.
No, he's not unk yet. He feels like an unk based on how much hurt he is, but he's not young enough yet. And I don't think AD still is AD 32.
That's not unk enough. I think you got to be 34 or older to be on this roster.
Yeah, you got to be up there. You got to be in your mid to late 30s at the youngest. Then also Brainy from Hey Arnold saying Yo Twin was good.
What's good,
Appreciate
twin?
it. You're not. He's my twin.
I'm
Rigby's your twin. Rigby's more your twin. you don't got glasses yet. Jay's asking Boomer, what is it? Jane's in the well? Boomer's just being a scrub. I don't know. Took him out, and he's already being a bum.
Classic.
Oh,
going outside just makes him want to poop inside.
Gibson a year or two younger than me. Really? Wait, how old? Do you mean Taj Gibson? Is that what you're talking about, Taj Gibson?
Yeah.
Okay. How old's Taj? 40.
Let's see.
I guess 41, maybe. I'm not sure.
Taj Gibson.
Jay saying, as a baseball fan, seeing analytics kill the knuckleball got me sad.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
You need something like that. Baseball is more of a numbers game than anything else, though.
Yeah, it's like
look at Moneyball. Yeah. Taj Gibson's 40 years old. By the
40,
way.
Okay. So I was off by one. Dang. Freaking punk.
Yeah.
Kenny seems like the guy who would rat you out for having a beer in your dorm. Oh my gosh, he would too.
He does say that like that. He would be like, "Well, I'm sorry, you got a beer in your dorm,
guys. It's 7:00. Can we turn it down? Can we turn it down?"
I did the same thing when I was your age, and trust me, I wish somebody had. I wish
somebody had caught me to turn me in. Freaking Kenny Atkinson. I wish somebody would have done that. I wish somebody would have put me in jail. Like what?
what if the Wizards? Who's Kwame Brown 2.0?
My guess is a bum. Kwame was Kwame was booty. No. The Wizards can't do that. Actually, hold on. No, they can't do that, and I'll tell you why. Because we already had a recent number 1 overall pick be booty, and it was Zachary Rishishay. We're not going to get another one for a while. The fact that Zachary Rishishay is as bad as he is...
The jury's still out on Zachary Rishishay.
The jury's reached their verdict. Guilty of not being... He can't even be like a decent bench 3-and-D guy. He's not even that right now.
Yet. He'll figure it out.
Dude,
I'm a fan of the Rishishay, man.
Nah, did he even get minutes in the series? I mean, they were being blown out by 50. You have to get something, right? I don't think he played anything. Like being the number 1 overall pick.
I can't remember the last time I watched a Wizards game live. I'm going to be real.
It wasn't Wizards, it was Hawks.
Oh, he's on the Hawks. Jesus.
Rishishay, yeah.
Ball knowledge.
Ball knowledge. No, that's just a prediction. You're predicting he'll be there.
I know he did not get minutes in that series at all.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say because
I thought he was on the Wizards.
No, that Zach draft class was booty cheeks though, but this one isn't. This draft class isn't booty cheeks. This is a good draft class.
This is one of the best in a minute.
This is what? This is like what? It's him. It's Debansta. It's Boozer. It's Peterson. It's one of my favorite players, Bennett Sturts.
Okay, cool. I thought you were going to say somebody else.
Bennett Sturts. There's the 2 Michigan guys. Mara and what is it? Dominican LeBron.
LeBron.
Yaxel Lendeberg, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they call him Dominican LeBron.
I remember him.
Yeah.
Who I really don't like going into this draft, and they could really be humble, good kids, the Boozers. And it's all the announcer's fault.
Dude.
And that State Farm ad.
What?
Like, you have you guys watched March Madness, right?
Yeah.
They were glazing Cam Boozer for getting a rebound It was ridiculous. It would be like he would get a rebound, and the announcer would be like, "Oh, what a move by Boozer, boxing out his defender, a little English on it." And like, dude, he would get fouled and miss the shot. It wouldn't be an and one. They would be like, "Oh, Boozer, crafty. He moves like a veteran already." It's like, dude, oh my god,
dude.
I think that he's definitely got the tools to be good, for sure. He could be a 20-10 guy. But the fact that they were talking about this guy like he was God's gift to earth, and then, they get out of the commercial, you would think that Duke is up by 20. Turns out they're down by like 5. They go to commercial, and then you say, and then you see the ad where it's like, "Will you be there for me when my brother says I have this much space?" I said this much space. It's like the Chiefs. It's like the college version of the Chiefs.
Well, yeah, that's always Duke though. That's not a.
Not really. It was not like that with Zion. I guess if it was NIL, Zion and RJ Barrett probably would have had similar deals.
That would have been, Zion would have had a deal. I mean, but that's always been Duke. Duke is always just hated because they're the blue blood. They're just generally obnoxious. Like I remember watching, oh my god, wasn't it Siena, right? Like there was that close game against Siena. I was like, oh my gosh!
Shout out Jerry McNamara.
If Duke, dude, that Jerry McNamara heading to Siena. That's a 12 seed beating a 5 next year. That's what that is.
Heading to Cuse, you mean?
Oh no, oh shoot, no, dang. I guess
Jerry
no.
McNamara is the new head coach.
Actually, no. I thought they were still shoot. Dang, I thought never mind. I got it mixed up in my head, dude. All right, that's
another conversation.
That's a 10 seed. That's a 10 seed this coming year. Hot take. Syracuse is a 10 seed, and they make Sweet 16.
I hate that that's a hot take now. We should have an NIL special because really think like what bothers me about NIL. We can't go all the way down this rabbit hole because we got to talk about the Wembatron versus Netanyahu in a minute.
Right.
But dude, what is totally like NIL kills what's good about college sports. I mean, obviously, get your money. I'm happy for the kids for getting their money and changing their families' futures. That's great. It allows for some great stories. But when you have a Stony Brook or a Siena do what they did in the tournament, the reality before NIL was this program makes a name for itself. The head coach gets closer and closer to, being a staple of the culture of the school and an icon on the campus. And they stick around. The program gets built and built and built. And now in the age of NIL, all of these programs remain stationary in the same spot because these schools are just stepping stones to these guys. Like, oh, I'm going to go to Stony Brook. I'm going to take this small deal right now, and then I'm going to do so good on my 13-seeded team that Auburn will see me and offer me more money so I can be at the end of the bench, and every program stays in the same place, more or less. And there needs to be balance for that. Well, yeah, that's my 2 cents. A little college basketball sprinkle for you.
No, that's definitely very true. I think from the coaching perspective, I get that. From like a young player perspective, though, I think it's a little bit more understandable from a young guy's perspective versus like a coach who's much older and has already done other things. Because I can understand like a young player wanting to go to like, let's say Michigan to go win like a natty or like a national championship or like overall like winning a championship. Versus like if you're a coach like that, what was it? Because it was the same kind of thing basically happened to Drake. Like that was, but I would also argue that strategy works in the same way. What? It did. It happened to Drake.
What?
The campus,
that was
the
just
university. No, Drake,
yeah.
The Drake College. Yeah, not Drake.
Yeah, I realized that after a second. I was like, how did this happen to Drake?
No, the Drake camp. No, Drake had like Sturts and his coach, and then they made their move. The coach got recruited to Iowa, and then Sturts also went with him to Iowa. and Iowa was a 9 seed that had like a deep run. Like they beat Florida. They beat Nebraska. They made a deep run. What was it, to the Elite Eight? I mean, like that is still in and of itself. Like that is a similar like aspect where NIL could maybe be different in the sense where yes, in cases, yes, that's going to happen. But also, it's kind of cool to see Iowa beat Florida, right? Beat last year's champion in round 2. So I think it'll change a lot, but I think there will still be that benefit to seeing guys that you normally wouldn't see be able to do that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because like Drake last year was an 11 seed that beat a 6 seed, and then was able to get that coach and those players went to Iowa, and then boom, now all of a sudden they're making an Elite 8 run. So there's still there's pushing and pulling, I guess, in both aspects.
Yeah, it goes both ways, but also like the other thing with that is upsets still happen, but you don't have returning characters. If you like outside of the NIL era, a guy like Sturts, let's say, he's not going pro, even though before NIL he probably still would have. And you will remember. I mean, let's just take Butler, for example. In the NIL era, when Gordon Hayward took his team to the national championship against Duke, and he almost hits that half-court shot, but no dice. Oh my God, that guy is the NIL champion. He is not at Butler next year, but we saw Gordon Hayward back in the tournament the next year. Recurring characters, I think that's just good for the storytelling and the culture of the game. But I guess things are the way they are now.
But there's still recurring characters. Like I think that they don't just all. I mean, another understanding too is that sometimes those guys stay with those teams and then never, like, that was their one shot. That was it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, the idea of returning. I feel like if you really were to have, say, recurring characters, I feel like the reverse is true, where NIL actually helps the better players be in the tournament. Because they would go to the bigger programs and they'd be more like, even if, let's say, like going to a bigger program where the wins for that program matter more than wins for, like, let's say, like, I don't know, Wichita State now, like it's just not, I don't know.
That's true.
It's just like they'll still be, I think a lot of the best players that are expected to go on, like a lot of the best guys were still in the tournament this year. Like a bunch of them, they were all there, doing their thing. Yeah. Like Peterson was there, DeVance is there, Boozer's there, the Michigan guys are there.
Okay, nobody was worried about the Boozers making it.
Well, man. No, but you see my point, right? Like they're still the best players to make it. I don't know, just this is what it is. It's tough.
Yeah, it's true. I'm a bit of a bitter old man when it comes to that stuff.
You're an old man.
But let's see what's next on the docket here, because
we haven't really even talked the Knicks. We haven't even really talked. We've been mostly flaming the Cavs. We didn't really talk about the Knicks. We mostly just flamed the Cavs for like better part.
The Knicks are in the freaking finals, man.
Look at me representing. It's my Mikal Bridges jersey. Yeah.
New York Knicks. Famous New York Knick, and played for a finals in the Suns. Let's hope that it goes better this time around for Mikal than the last time.
Yeah, the experience, the experience in this kind of game. The Knicks are going to need him.
Exactly, the best teacher. I think, what I'm really excited about is this. I'll say, the Knicks, Karl Anthony Towns having the point center role has revolutionized this offense. Earlier in the series, I think it was right before game 1 against the Cavs, Mike Brown, I'm sure y'all might have heard about this, Mike Brown showed the team a clip, and it was like a montage of all of the players' faces after they lost to the Pacers a year ago, and asked them to remember how that felt. That's the type of killer instinct that everybody has. Cat is so locked in right now. Every time at the end of the game, he's like, next game's the most important game of the season. We got to keep it pushing. You know, Brunson is going to just be locked in. I think about the philosophy of these guys. Like, when I get on Instagram and I see some headline, it's like, I bet, like, you know, I doubt it. I doubt the Knicks have Instagram or any sort of thing on their phones. But at the same time, you don't really want to isolate yourself like that. I don't know.
They
But
do have
how
Instagram.
locked
They
in
all
they
have their
are.
accounts. They all got
Well,
Instagram
yeah, but
accounts.
like you can't be, you can't get. Obviously, they have it like outside of the playoff run. But I wonder like what they're doing to stay focused in this run because you just had a week off. You're gonna have close to another week off, pretty much now, and it interests me. But I am very happy about how locked in this Knicks team is. You know, I kind of thought that it would feel more electric getting here, but it was pretty anticlimactic. I'm hype. I am going to be watching tonight's Spurs OKC game as if it were a Knicks game, rooting for, my theoretical GOAT. No, I can't even say that. That's too hard of glazing for somebody where we might be about to have to play. But I'm excited to root for the Spurs tonight because I want to see the Spurs in the finals.
You're really confident that's the easier matchup.
I mean, I'm not. It's not going to be easy.
Well, I mean, the better matchup wise. I mean, I guess, yeah. I keep. Well, because again, like by the same logic of this Knicks team in the playoffs is very different than what they were in the regular season. Wemby feels like a different animal in these playoffs than when he was in the regular season. Like, he's pulling up from 35 feet, hitting half-court shots over, like, 3 defenders. I'm not even joking when I say this. That's never been seen before, ever. Like, there is not a player... This is truly the first time there is a my career like you made your own player in 2K in real life. This is
they don't even let you make Wemby in my career, man.
He's a 7'4" French monster who has handles, who can shoot from 3, who can basically just put his hands up and touch the rim, and like. It's absurd. He even if he can get any amount of his hand on the ball and still be able to block it. Like watching, what was it? There was a block in game 1 that was ridiculous. He just blocks it with like 3 fingers, like this. It's ludicrous.
Yeah. He has teams. I mean, this. What's crazy is this might be the least crazy thing out of everything you just said. He has teams training with like people holding mats over their heads to give them to make their arc on their shot higher so they can learn to shoot over it. Like he is such a factor on the court. It is remarkable. And I mean, in the context of who the Knicks want to play, I think Jalen Brunson is amazing. I think the entire Knicks roster is amazing. Mikal Bridges has been on a crazy tear in terms of how well he's shooting, the defense he's playing, OG Anunoby too, especially with the defense. But the reality is, if we get the Spurs, no question, Wemby is the best player in the series. We're not arguing that. But the Knicks are the more experienced team. They are the deeper team, which really I rest my case in. Also, having a center that can shoot threes in Cat will spread the floor and allow Brunson to, find his spots, attack the basket without, getting freaking destroyed by Wemby. Whereas the Thunder, essentially, with the way they're built, they're kind of just a better version of the Knicks in terms of the way their roster's built. So I think we would lose to the Thunder in 6, and it wouldn't be nearly as entertaining of a series. But of course, I'm going to watch every game expecting the Knicks to win and rooting hard as hell if we get the Thunder.
Yeah, right.
But I think if we get the Spurs, it's going to be the more entertaining series, one of the most entertaining finals that we've gotten this decade, really. And then... I think the Knicks would be favored to win the series, but every game would be competitive. every game would have, I think it would go to 7 or 6 with the Knicks winning. Or Wemby and the Spurs winning 7 and make me freaking cry.
Wemby's legacy starts the same way the Spurs won in the 9. One dynasty starts again by beating the.
Oh yeah, one thing I want to say about Wemby, I recorded this stat line. I saw this thing earlier where, all right, here's how good Wemby is for some perspective. You have, all right, through 175 games. These are like the stat leaders through 175 games. You have Larry Bird with 3,718 points through 175 games. Charles Barkley with leading in rebounds with 1,898 rebounds. Hakeem Olajuwon with 526 blocks, a leader. Leader in steals, Kobe Bryant with 154. And then in three-pointers, Steph Curry with 367. These were all the leaders before Wemby came in the league. I'm now going to read you Wemby's stats through 175 games. He has 4,042 points, which is 300 more than Larry Bird. 1,912 rebounds, which is just 20 more rebounds than Charles Barkley. And then 610 blocks, which is just shy of 100 more blocks than Hakeem Olajuwon. 201 steals, which is 47 more steals than Kobe Bryant through 175 games. And then 382 three-pointers, which is 15 more threes than Steph Curry through 175 games. Given Steph Curry was a bit of a late bloomer, but it is insane how good this guy is.
In your first few seasons, to be doing that, to be producing at a level of all of those guys being Hall of Famers, I think all of those guys have to be like top 5 at their position too.
Yeah.
All of them are top 5 at their position. That's pretty absurd.
And it reminds me, this was after Wemby hit that half-court shot. We texted the group chat, and Gabe said Wemby isn't top 100 all-time yet, which is an interesting conversation because obviously when we look at, the top 5 of all time, the basis is their accolades, and Wemby's story just hasn't been written yet. Sure. But really, I think that's a story that we're just dying to talk about, but we just can't yet because we don't know. Obviously, the skill set is nothing we've ever seen before. But yeah, I'm eager to watch Mr. Wemby play.
I think Wemby. Well, here's the thing, right? Let's say Wemby's career ends like today. He's just like, guys, I'm gonna retire right now. If he retires, he goes down as like still like he goes down as something more than just one of the best players of all time. He goes down as a mythical like myth and legend. Like similar to Bo Jackson. When Bo Jackson went down, people talk because Bo was like a multi-sport athlete. People talked about Bo like crazy after he had his hip injury and never came back to play. If Wemby just stops playing, and it elevates him to another weird tier where it's like he's like this mythological creature. Like you're not even sure if he's real. Like imagine if we lose. Like, oh man, did Wemby actually play? Like, is he real? I don't know. Like it's especially like if he wins a championship this year, he's top 100 immediately. There's no removing him from being top 100 if he's able to win a championship incredibly early and produce at the level that he is right now.
Yeah, I think Jay in chat just said it best. I'll put Wemby at 100 just because he's such a unicorn. I think that's fair right now. I mean, he just won Defensive Player of the Year unanimously for the first time in the history of the award, or since a long time ago. I can't remember which. But yeah, I mean, I think he's at 100 right now, and the fine-tuning remains to be seen. Jay says, Bo came back to baseball but was never the same player. Yeah. And like you were saying, Phil, yeah, if Wemby were to, retire after this playoffs or today even. He is the biggest what if in the history of sports. And second place is Derrick Rose. And the margin between 1 and 2 is so unbelievably large that,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Because D-Rose still... Because another difference is that D-Rose still played, and it's just he was never able to recover. Whereas, like, Wemby just leaves. Like, Wemby just disappears in a puff of smoke. It was like
Omni-Man.
No, it's like the scene in Batman where it's like, I never said thank you. And you'll never have to.
Yeah, Wemby wins 1 championship with the Spurs in 7 games. Pardon my French. Freaking LeBron blocked by James against the Knicks of getting their first championship in 53 years. Leaves basketball right after.
Cavs fans are like, I never said thank you. And you'll never have to. Like, just... Or Brooklyn Nets fans, actually, would be more of like...
Sixers, Cavs, Hawks, and Nets fans all rejoicing. Like,
singing like the Who's during Christmas. Around their giant tree that is Wemby. Let me read through some of these real quick. Jay was saying earlier...
We said Quentin Grimes could beat the entire Knicks team all by himself. Yeah, man, I think
Boy 374. Yeah, 100%. I mean, you put a full team of Quentin Grimeses. I believe it. I believe it.
Joel Embiid's been holding him back.
Jay was saying, here's a question for later: best NBA draft class of all time. I don't know draft
2003.
classes. 2003. Is that just Melo and Braun?
Melo, Braun, D Wade, Chris Bosh.
Oh yeah, true. D Wade,
NBA legend Darko Milicic.
Milicic.
He was
Danny Darko.
Makes you see. I don't know in Jackbox. If you ever play a game called Trivia Murder Party, you have to poison one of the cups. Darko Milicic was that poisoned cup. He was the one prank pick.
I'm wondering what 2003 is 1. They also put 1984 as 1, and then 1996 and 2009. 84's class was Hakeem, Michael Jordan, John Stockton, and Charles Barkley.
That's pretty good.
96 was Kobe, Allen Iverson, Ray Allen, Steve Nash, and then they also technically undrafted Ben Wallace. And then 03 is Bron, D Wade, Carmelo, and Chris Bosh. And then there's no. They tried to throw in 09, but I mean outside of Steph and James Harden, they tried to include Blake Griffin and DeMar DeRozan. So no.
Yeah. We could pick apart some draft classes at some point. I think it would be cool to dive into NFL draft classes sometime too.
Oh, I know the best draft class in the NFL.
You know who I think of when I think about NFL draft classes?
Who do you think about when you think of
one of the most hyped up prospects ever? I don't know. I remember hearing about this guy when I don't know. It's in the middle of the summer. I'm like 8 years old. I just came back in from dribbling the basketball and shooting the hoops. And then you have none other than, what's the guy's? Here's some ball knowledge for you. Mark Schlereth. He's talking about Luke Jokel.
Luke Jokel.
And how amazing he's going to be for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And that never panned out.
No, Luke Jokel was not. Oh my gosh. That draft class could maybe go down as one of the weakest. Not worst, but one of the weakest. 2013, I think it was. That was a booty. Number one overall pick was Eric. You know what? That's the other thing. I'm gonna say this. Number one overall pick. Like, not that it's not overrated by any means, but my gosh, when teams like, for example, we were talking earlier about like, what if AJ DeBanza is a bum? If you're like think about like the value and level of number one overall picks, because it's obviously different. But like having like a Wemby is way different than having like, I don't know, a DeAndre Ayton, for instance. Like, there's just, it makes me upset. It makes me so mad.
I'm kind of happy that Wemby was drafted to a good franchise that was not going to screw him up. Because imagine Wemby like freaking carrying the entire Sacramento Kings organization on his back. Oh,
but light the beam, man. But light the beam. Come on! Get us out of the trenches! Get them all out of the trenches!
Ooh, Jay just made a very important point in the chat. Knicks won the season series versus the Spurs. The confidence is there versus them compared to versus the Thunder. Very much agreed.
But I mean, you gotta feel like the confidence is there a little bit just because you saw. Well, A, you're seeing what the Spurs are doing to him, but also B, if you're like, say, the Knicks, you saw what the Pacers did to him in the finals last year, right? I feel like, and that's what always, to me at least, should make the finals closer than it has been over the last several years, is because you don't see this team as much, right? So there should be more options for variability regardless. Like, you know, like you only see them twice. Like, they can't really be in your bag that much either way. Like, I'm going to say it. You guys, if you guys win the championship, just remember, we beat you both times regular season.
So you're technically better than the NBA champion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, what do you mean? Like, we're like that.
Yeah, and to theorize the matchup against the Thunder just a little more. Oh wait, let's get through.
Yeah, let me put through these. If we keep talking. We said there. Why isn't Bo Jackson in the Hall? Because he only played like a couple seasons in football. That's really why.
He still deserves it, man. He was like the Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson was the Bo Jackson of
football. But again, like that's the same
like
level.
Mythical creature.
He's a mythical creature, but it's a different category because you now get to speculate. Like Bo Jackson had a video game. Bo Jackson's got enough. The Tecmo Bowl's probably in the Hall of Fame, but Bo Jackson isn't. Like, you probably go
like saying,
to the Hall of Fame.
That's like saying Bill Belichick has 7 Super Bowls. That's enough.
Well, yeah.
Therefore, he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame?
No.
That's
not the same thing. Well, no, that's not the same. That's not the same thing. I don't think that's the same thing. I think it's very hard to make an NFL Hall of Fame when you've only played like 2 or 3 seasons. Because, like, okay, let me put it this way: if you played 2 or 3 seasons, should you make it if you were really good, but didn't make it, or should someone who played 10 years who was at your same level get in the Hall of Fame over you?
I think functionally, the Hall of Fame the purpose of it is to preserve the history of the greatest heights of the sport. When you put it like that,
Jeremy Lin. Hall of Fame.
Jeremy Lin wasn't the reason that Jeremy Lin was lightning in a bottle, and that's what made it so fascinating.
Bubble TJ Warren, Jackson, Hall of Fame.
No, that's lightning in a bottle again. Bo Jackson was consistently good until he was hurt. Consistently great. He was doing freaking. It was subhuman is the inverse. I don't want to say subhuman. He was doing superhuman things on that football field. He was doing subhuman things on that football field. He's just out there freaking throwing punches. Look, man. Bo Jackson belongs in the Hall of Fame because functionally that is what he does.
I don't know what to tell you.
He's great. He is.
But it just wasn't. It wasn't enough. That's what Josh Gordon, man. Like, come on. Also, to be fair, he never had 1,000 yards in any of his seasons. To be fair, he didn't play the full season.
You never had 1,000 yards in any of your seasons, man.
Look, man, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just saying how it is. All right.
You're also not in.
He's also in the College Football Hall of Fame. Like, he's not. He's got some.
Nobody even knows that's a real thing.
What? There's obviously one. Like, it's like
nobody cares about the college.
But you still know it's a thing. You can't say, "Oh, that nobody knows that exists." It would be like saying, imagine seeing a road spawn, but you had no idea how they were made, so you just presumed they spawned in, but you knew something made it. You knew something made the road. Road didn't just spawn there.
It's weird.
My collarbone's weird.
I gotta go to the collarbone doctor.
The collarbone.
One of them feels like different than the other.
You're getting.
But all right, let's dive into this. Yeah, Thunder Spurs Game 5 stuff. I'm just gonna say one more thing about like I guess it's just about the Thunder generally, but it's also why I would rather see the Spurs. The way I look at this matchup is the Thunder. obviously, they are a well-oiled, fine-tuned machine. They have depth. They have Jared McCain just because. Daryl Morey was like, oh, you know what? I feel like being kind to the juggernaut. And that is, in every stretch of the word, every way the phrase could be used, the Thunder are a juggernaut. And they have the power of friendship. They are always going to win the mental game. The Thunder are, they are the machine. They're always going to win the mental game. They love playing together. On the other side, you have the Spurs that are just raw ferocity. And like you have Wemby, like I imagine, like you ever see, I mean, we've seen the Hobbit movies. I think there's, in the first one, there's like a flashback where one of like the old dwarven kings is like fighting off all the orcs and the elves, and he's like just like freaking being a badass, like chopping heads off, blocking somebody with his shields right here, and then like, and that's Wemby. And
that sounds right.
whereas the Thunder are like very chill. You know, so basically, that's kind of like, I don't want to face that crazy well-oiled machine because I'm gonna be real. Like I said earlier, the Thunder are a better version of the Knicks on paper, really. And the Spurs and Wemby in particular have a certain angst, especially towards Chet Holmgren and the Thunder, that the Knicks just do not have, even though the Knicks are incredibly locked in. It's personal with Wemby.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I really want to see the Spurs and not the Thunder. And for the same reason, I think this series is going to 7. I think the Thunder win tonight.
I think there's... Yeah, I would argue the series is over in 6. I think the Thunder just win the... Because here's the thing, right? If the same... Like, I think the Thunder win tonight, and I think the Thunder... Because here's the thing. I'm not sure you want to see what game... Because listen, if you've seen Game 1 Wemby, and we've seen Game 4 Wemby, I don't know if you want to see Game 7 Wemby. I don't think you want to see it at all.
Of course, you don't want to see Game 7 anybody.
Well, do you want to see... The way this series has panned out, just the way Wemby is playing, Game 1, huge game. Game 4, huge game. The Game 5 and 6, you really want to win because the law of pattern says, first game, amazing. Second, third game, just, kind of normal. Fourth game, Game 4, amazing. 5 and 6 would stand to reason. Maybe they're just kind of normal. Maybe you can get 2 wins there. But if you go to Game 7... Wemby's going to start slaying it from deep. Wemby's going to start getting... Wemby might have a quadruple-double Game 7. If this series goes to a Game 7, the Spurs will win that Game 7, and Wemby will have a quadruple-double. Like, it's just... I've seen it in the tea leaves. I'm a big tea leaf reader. I saw it in the tea leaves. If you're the Thunder, you really don't want this going to a Game 7. If you're the Spurs, I think you almost want it to. I think you're almost like you want to poke the bear. You want to unwake the beast. You want Wemby to have the best Game 7 of all time. Listen, that's what I think will happen if they go to the Game 7. But I don't think that happens because I think OKC is, especially after last Game 4, because they got their ass kind of handed to them in Game 4, and they're gonna come out with a different mentality in Game 5, so they can make sure that they get that lead. Because let's say the Thunder lose Game 5, do you want to go to San Antonio on an elimination game based on the way you played there last time? Ooh!
If the Spurs win tonight, I am fired up. I'm gonna be rooting for the Spurs like a crazy person tonight. I might not be able to sit down because this is majorly going to determine how the Knicks. It's not going to determine how the Knicks do in the finals. That remains to be seen. But I'm a firm believer that it will have a massive role in how and what the outcome of the finals is. This is the biggest game of the NBA season so far. I am hype about it.
I'm also hyped about it as well.
Give me the Thunder tonight. Spurs in the series.
I have OKC tonight. I have OKC in the series. The darn shame. You can hate on me. You can boo me all you want.
Spam Wembatron.
Chat spam Chet and Yahoo.
Yeah, Wembetron if you think the Spurs are gonna win.
Yeah.
Chet and Yahoo if you think the Thunder are gonna win.
Yep. Do you wanna call it there? Or do you want to go into our heated Suns talk that you've been pilfering me with? Because
I think we close it right there. It's 8:17. We got 13 minutes until the game starts.
that is true.
I'm gonna get cozied up. I'm gonna rub my hands together, go to the bathroom, and then come back and watch the game in that order.
Alrighty, I'm gonna go A, check on Boomer. I'm gonna go B, probably let him run around with him for a little bit. I'm gonna C, come back inside and put in some cozy pants. I'm gonna D, it's nuts. I'm gonna E, some food. And I'm gonna watch the game.
Heck yeah.
That's the plan.
All right.
But as
Go
always,
Spurs.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. It has been Primetime Podcast, episode number 75. Guys, we're rapidly approaching 100. You know what else we're rapidly approaching? We're approaching 100 subscribers. We're up in the mid 80s now. You want to be here for when we hit 100 because that's gonna be pretty crazy. I might even drink a beer in celebration when we get 100 subscribers. That's my game plan. So. Everybody,
and you don't even know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go insane.
He's gonna freak out. He's gonna absolutely tweak. So make sure you guys stick around for that. Appreciate you guys always for watching. I will be here for some free refill on Thursday. I know I said I was there Monday, but Memorial Day happens. All right, don't get your underwear in a bunch. All right.
Yeah.
It had Memorial Day, but I will be back Thursday for some free refill previewing Game 6. So stay tuned for that. And as always,
and my lighting's gonna be better next time.
Yeah, your lighting better be better next time. You better lock in.
It's not actually dark in here.
It's dark in there. It's dark in there. Stone Cold Steve Austin drink a beer. Yeah, I'm gonna be Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Stone Cold Phillip White. You see you guys. Yeah. Y'all have a good one. We're heading out. Bye.